I think the creative team were so amazing in leaving little bits and clues in small places. So it gave a lot for me as the actor, and I hope when audiences go back and look again, they'll see more.
Hello, Colette. How are you?
Good. How are you? I like the background.
Thank you. I'm doing great. I was so excited when I heard STARZ was doing Dangerous Liaison. I love the story and, consume all forms of it in media. I was wondering, what was your first, knowledge of the book or any of the films, if there was one before this, and what drew you to this version?
I played Meftoy in drama school.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Ever since then, I was obsessed. So I knew of it much more before I knew of the show. But yeah, I've always been very much into period as well.
I love that so much. Now, Ondine's backstory with Pascal or with Valmont is very layered and full of tension. Can you talk about getting into that character and her dynamic with her stepson?
I think it sounds terrible, but I don't think it's anything personal. I think she loves experiencing someone grovel for something that they want and she has. And she's not willing to give up for anything.
I think that is fair. You also start to develop a very interesting dynamic with Camille. Like, it kind of feels like you each might have something the other wants. Maybe there are some reversals over the course of the season. Can you talk about building that dynamic with Alice?
Alice is so fantastic. She was, I would always say how, naughty Ondine. And then she'd be like, no, Ondine. And she would, tell me about, how she empathizes. So it was really interesting because then, I was falling more and more in love with Ondine as we went along. And then just observing her performance as well and Camille's journey, I started to understand as me why it was so important for her to get to where she was going. So it's really interesting. We had this camaraderie as actors. At the same time, we knew we had to play, it's really interesting when you want what somebody else wants just as much as they want it, So it was a very nice dance between us.
I'm very intrigued by, the existence of Ondine's son, which I think I'm halfway through. I don't think I've really met him yet, but there's so much has been said. And I would love to know your thoughts on that relationship. Will we be seeing him?
Will you be seeing him?
Yes.
I don't know if I can say.
All right.
I will say he is definitely Ondine's most prized possession.
Oh my.
And she'd be willing to go through fire for him for sure. So,
well, that shall be very interesting to see or hear more about. The look of the series is incredible. I love the costumes, all the different scenes and scenery. What is it like for you to step into this 1700s France world, and what's the most challenging aspect of it?
Oh gosh, I think any actor that's ever done a period piece will tell you the costume is very difficult to get comfortable with. However, especially in Prague weather, it was during the summertime, and that was hot. However, it creates so much opportunity for interesting movement and how you maneuver those restrictions. So where there was obstacles, there were interesting solutions, I'll say.
Very interesting. Very interesting. How much did you speak with the creatives or with the directors on set when going into where is Ondine coming from? What was her marriage like up to this point, etc.?
So much. I'm so glad you asked, because honestly, I feel like everyone got invested in Ondine. I mean, there were scenes that I shouldn't have even been in, or suggestions that came from ADs that were like, don't you think Ondine should, And I was just like, oh, wow. So I was suddenly getting mic'd up for a moment that I hadn't previously seen, on just on script. But I felt like, in a way, these conversations were always happening, but also there were contributions from everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I think the creative team were so amazing in leaving little bits and clues in small places. So it gave a lot for me as the actor, and I hope when audiences go back and look again, we'll see more.
Oh, very exciting. So then finally, the show will hopefully continue beyond this first season. We'll get to see and explore more of the trajectory to what we know as Dangerous Liaisons. So as the show expands and continues, what other aspects of Ondine's life, or what other little nooks and crannies would you like to see?
I think, for the most part, I keep her backstory to myself. Mm-hmm. However, I would love for there to be an investigation about why Ondine has become the way that she is. We get little clues, so it only seems like a good place whilst we are there to go, okay, let's go further down this alley. But that's my hope.
So I absolutely hope that we get the chance to see that. I have been loving you so far. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too.